What's up, guys? I'm going to show you what I just learned in culinary school about how to properly dice an onion the correct way. I was not doing it the correct way. So the first thing you do is you cut off the root and the stem end of the onion. Then you're going to lay it flat. And then what you want to do is the core, you want to take that and you want to cut right in the middle of that. So you want to lay it down and then cut like that. Then you want to remove that. So you want to lay it down flat and you're going to use your paring knife and you want to do a little triangle so that you can get that out of there because you don't want the core in there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It's kind of off to the side. So you just want to do a little triangle and core that out so that it isn't in there. I'm doing it backwards so that I can show you guys, which I don't recommend. And then you're going to peel off. You could actually peel before if you wanted. I just chose to show you the core end first. So you're going to peel off that outer layer, at least 1 to 2 depending on how old the onion is. Peel that off. Lay it down flat, okay? So this is the part I was not doing right. So what you're going to do, you are going to lay it down like this, and you're gonna put your hand, your palm of your hand on the onion, and then you're gonna cut not all the way through. You want to leave some at the end, but almost all the way through, and press down with this hand so that the onion isn't moving and so that it's safer. So you're gonna just kind of go like that. Then what you want to do is you want to cut vertically like this. And you want to have your hand in a claw with this part up against the knife so that if you're like this, you have a chance of cutting your fingers off. You always want to have what they call the claw when you're holding food. See how my hand is like this? And then when the knife is up against it, it's not going to cut your fingers off. So you want to have that little claw and then just cut vertically down through the onion all the way. Okay, so then you're going to take it and you're going to kind of grip it almost like a tennis ball. And what you want to do when you're cutting, you want to have like a certain wrist movement so that you're, you don't want to be like slamming down. So you want to have this nice wrist movement where you're just gradually going like that. And so with a dice, you want all of the onion shapes, well, with any dice, you want the size to be consistent all the way through because then it's going to cook evenly. So then to do this little end piece, I'm just gonna go like this all the way down and then turn it around and dice up that little end piece like that as similar to size. So that is a proper way to dice an onion. I'm actually roasting up. I'm gonna do a sheet pan meal for dinner that I'm gonna show you really quick. And so I'm actually gonna roast this other half of the onion just like this in bigger chunks because it looks really pretty. I'm gonna grab another one and I'll show you. So I'm gonna just lay this on a sheet pan with some olive oil and salt and pepper and roast it in the oven like that. I'm also gonna do peppers and potatoes with my chicken. So I'm gonna leave that right there, throw that on my sheet pan. I'm gonna take this, throw it over here because that's gonna go on one side of the pan. I've got 2 pepper halves. So you just cut a pepper in half and then you're gonna wanna take your fingers on the inside, put your thumb on this part and just kind of like pull it out. And I always like to have a garbage bowl. I don't like to do this over the garbage because if you drop this pepper in the garbage, you're either out of pepper or you you have to eat a pepper that's been in the garbage, which I don't suggest doing. I don't know what's in your garbage, but in my garbage, there are not things that I want to be eating. So I'm just gonna go like this, same thing, and then just pop out that. And I actually am gonna rinse the pepper after I've gotten the seeds out. So I'm gonna rinse this real quick. All right, now what I'm gonna do, this I just learned also. I'm actually gonna cut it in half like this, and the pepper slices that I want, I'm gonna cut them at kind of like, I'm gonna lay down the pepper flat to make it an easier surface to work with. And then I'm just gonna cut these like, kind of like this, because they just look prettier. Of course, when I'm doing a video, my washing machine decides to like go crazy. So I'm gonna do the same thing, flatten it down, and then just kind of cut pieces like this. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have too much in my washing machine right now. So it's going crazy. Okay, so anyways, back to my pepper. I'm just gonna flatten it out, and you can even like pull the ends and flatten them. And I just want like some unique kind of shapes. So see how nice these shapes are? They're pretty. And I'm all about presentation. And so I actually just diced up the onion just to show you, but that wasn't my initial plan with it. So I'm gonna have these chunks along with these roasted onion chunks that are gonna be really good. And I'm gonna grab another onion and cut it up. So I'm just gonna kind of go like that. And I've got all these. Then I am gonna I'll do another onion. I'll do another onion just to show you guys. I'm not gonna dice it, but I am going to cut it into fours for my sheet pan for my dinner. So here's the core. I'm gonna find that and cut the middle. I like to peel after I've cut it in half. You could do before if you want. Like I said, have your little garbage bowl. So I'm just gonna cut these into fours. And I'm gonna roast them right like that, because then when they come apart, it looks really pretty. Okay, so then I am going to do the potatoes. So I'm just gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut them in similar sizes to actually I'm gonna cut them a little bit smaller, because the potatoes are gonna take longer to cook, so I want to cut them a little bit smaller. I'm not gonna go crazy on the potatoes, because I already ate a lot of carbs today. So, and then these icky spots, so I'm gonna just take a potato peeler and peel those off, because nobody wants that gross spot right there. So I'm just gonna peel that off. I'm gonna go like that, cut these into smaller chunks. Do a couple more. And then for my chicken, I am actually going to take some Greek or some yogurt ranch. You could just make your own, but I'm really short on time right now. I have to run to the vet with Leroy. Don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to just use some pre-made yogurt ranch. And I've got some panko, some breadcrumbs. I'm gonna take some of this Bolthouse ranch, and I am just gonna put it in a bowl. I have 2 chicken breasts that will feed me, Ryden, and Justin. A whole chicken breast these are pretty big. So I am going to, actually, I think I'm gonna cut these in half. No, you know what, they're okay. So what I'm going to do I should use a different cutting board for my chicken. So I'm done with that stuff. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna trim off some of these little gross parts that are not really, and this knife that I'm using, also very dull. I need to sharpen my knives, you guys, horribly bad. So I'm just gonna kind of trim that off, and then I'm gonna dip it in this ranch and then dip it in the breadcrumbs. This is gonna keep the moisture in the chicken and prevent it from drying out because we're baking it with the potatoes. So I've got this, then I'm just gonna go like this and like this, coat it, and then I'm gonna season it. You could season the breadcrumbs first if you wanted to, but I'm gonna do it after because I'm also at the same time going to season my peppers, my onions, and my potatoes. Grab this other chicken breast, put it in this ranch dressing, make sure it's coated, even the sides, and then drop it in the breadcrumbs. If there's any spots that you missed, just kind of dump it back in. There you go. So just like that, I'm gonna roast this in the oven for about half an hour at 400 degrees. Got my potatoes. Got my potatoes, my peppers, my chicken, my onions. All right, hope you guys liked my little video.